Welcome back, everyone. We have an update from AseptiScope, Inc., which is a private company driven to bring forward novel solutions that ensure infection protection for clinician and patient. AseptiScope is a privately funded San Diego-based company founded in 2016 and led by clinical innovation experts, leading medical researchers, and practicing physicians. Happy to welcome back founder and CEO Scott Mader. Nice to see you, Scott.
Thank you, Anna. Nice to be here.
All right, we're going to start with a video. Roll it.
The CDC has announced new 2024 guidelines to prevent transmission of pathogens to reduce healthcare-associated infections. Stethoscopes, known to be contaminated with dangerous pathogens, now are recognized to transmit pathogens through touch. As with hand hygiene, the new guidelines recommend that stethoscope hygiene be performed between each patient exam. Previous methods for stethoscope hygiene have proved insufficient. Cleaning with alcohol has low compliance. Meanwhile, disposable stethoscopes continue to spread pathogens, and their poor auscultation quality makes them unreasonably difficult for exams. A timely innovation, the Discover system, has recently been launched and makes stethoscopes touch-free for the very first time. This technology is a visible solution, elevating both patient safety and patient satisfaction. Easy to use and immediate, the Discover system provides workflow compatibility for the user. Each Discover provides high-fidelity acoustic performance. And most importantly, it protects patients from exposure. Protecting your patients has never been easier. Order your starter kit today with a free Discover system dispenser. Let's get you started.
Okay, well, you've seen that presentation, that commercial. It's something that aired just last month for the very first time. My name's Scott Mader. I'm thrilled to be with you. I'm the CEO and co-founder that Anna introduced just a moment ago. I want to elaborate a little bit on what the commercial introduced you to. Just yesterday, we had a big press release where experts recommended new stethoscope hygiene standards and that the Discover system, our technology, be a critical component of that. So that was a big press day for us yesterday. My company and my co-founders have done this before. Clinical innovation in healthcare is something that we have had good success with. The data monitor graph in front of you shows what we did with a cardiovascular biomarker with a company called BioSite back at the first 10 years of this century, where in the early days, analysts forecasted about a $30 million opportunity for this technology. We eclipsed it by a decile to $300 million in a very short period of time with a $1.6 billion exit to Inverness. So everybody went home happy. Now at AseptiScope, we're focused on healthcare-associated infection, or HAI, and the stethoscope. This is a $140 billion problem in the United States alone, and 200,000 U.S. patients die every year from HAI. The problem is the stethoscope has been around, obviously, forever. It's the most commonly used medical device technology, over 5 billion times a year in the U.S. alone. And it is as dirty as an unwashed hand, and nobody's doing anything about it. Nor has the CDC required that over the course of time. Nicely, the CDC's 2024 guidelines are just announced and will require stethoscope hygiene between every patient. The solution on the lower part of this slide is the Discover system. It is the only validated solution that is superior to standard of care alcohol and takes 1 second to apply, saving time and workflow. We do this through a 3 development stage in all of our clinical innovations: product development, clinical development, and market development. Let me walk you through why this is so important to really birthing an enormous market in clinical care. First, you develop a solution. What is it that's going to resolve this challenge of stethoscope contamination? We have market-driven science guide us through that. That is when the market tells you what the solution is and you build it. You develop your IP and you validate it through clinical development. Our CMO and co-founder, Frank Peacock, has over 700 publications of peer-reviewed literature and has done a beautiful job with controlled studies in a stepwise fashion, publishing in the cited literature that this technology is not only highly effective, but superior to standard of care. It saves time, it is acoustically invisible, workflow compatible, and has expert endorsement. This means that not only do we have a product developed but also our clinical development program. Now market development. Up until this year, it has been up to the institution to decide whether they want contaminated stethoscopes touching patients or not. The CDC in November announced that they will have the first new guidelines since 2007, and that stethoscope hygiene between every patient is going to be required. And we are the only solution that gets the job done. That means that a new market has been birthed where every time a stethoscope touches a patient, hygiene must be executed. That means in the US, over 5 billion units a year, a $2 billion opportunity in the US, and over 100 billion across the world with the stethoscope, the most commonly used medical device technology. Our institution, our operations have a manufacturing license. We are producing lots and shipping today as we have launched the technology into the market, focused on core market segments. We have field promotion and digital programming, as well as an e-commerce platform to capture orders and ship out with installation services if required. And we are going to where small companies can get good reach and frequency: cancer clinics and hospitals, high acuity patient care, transplant centers, pediatric centers, and VA medical centers, meaning those patients who really need the best coverage because they have immune or otherwise vulnerability to these types of infections. So we build that with immediate low-hanging fruit that we can reach, and we're actively installing Discover systems and having them in evaluations and commercial purchases. Right now, you can see our first customers. They range from high institutions like the Cleveland Clinic with influence internationally to small centers like Columbia affiliated hospitals in New York, or St. Joseph's, part of the HCA system in the Pacific Northwest. I want to focus you down at the UC Health System as an example of how we go into institutions and grow. At UCSD, a major academic center in California, we launched into their La Jolla Urgent Care Center, soon expanding into Bankers Hill Cardiovascular Center downtown, and now back up to the main campus in the Sulpizio Cardiovascular Center. And we are in discussions to implement in their large Jacobs Medical Center right now. We have strong advocacy on the bottom of the slide from hospital medicine practitioners, infection control, and generalists. And this is part of an overall UC Health system that covers tens of millions of lives across California, and is a wonderful opportunity for expansion, because once you have this in place, you need to do it. Joint Commission will be in inspecting. So expanding throughout the system is actually a natural step. This gives us, with the UC footprint, a $5 million opportunity across the state. And as you see, just in those centers that I introduced you to, we have a $50 million opportunity down the lower right-hand side across the entire healthcare system as we go in. So the wonderful opportunity here with an enormous market, literally the largest market in the world from a unit basis every time a stethoscope touches a patient. Over the next 5 years, we'll build to over $500 million in sales in the US alone. We'll be launching, and the guidelines, of course, are just now announced. So that really puts a timestamp on this market. And we will grow into break even by mid next year and start our international sales shortly thereafter. The milestones in the 2023 year include launching the technology. Also, our IP family is in place, et cetera. Value established, market established, and coming soon. This is not just a one-trick pony. We will be expanding overseas. We do have compliance software, the only game in town for tracking compliance with this for healthcare facilities. And we also will be introducing our Sono cover system and hand cover systems. These are also vectors in healthcare that are unmet need problems, and we will have the solutions. So this is a portfolio approach, and we're very happy to be here with you today. I'd like to have you consider joining our convertible note program. It's a $4 million, 20% discount note. We have now, of the $4 million, we have $3.4 million now closed on. We have $600,000 left, so we'd love to get you into it. And it will be converted by a B round, a $10 million institutional round that we are preparing right now. So this all goes towards the growth of the Discover system internationally. You can see on the right-hand side where we're applying these funds. And then ultimately that will drive prototyping for our portfolio products. My name's Scott Mader, CEO and co-founder at AseptiScope. I want to thank you all for your time. I want to thank Emerging Growth and Anna for her facilitation today, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Wonderful. We have a quick question for you from Ernest Sandoval. Talk a little bit about the go-to-market strategy and talk a little bit about your sales team.
Yes. Well, our go-to-market strategy includes really driving awareness through digital programming dramatically. And if you go onto any of our social media sites, you'll see exactly how prolific that is. And we're reaching thousands of people daily. Our sales team is centered over our VP of Sales, Kevin Burns, who has 1099s territorialized across the country, who are motivated and trained in a very unique way. They have opportunities not only to have high commissions on their sales, but also to reach an equity position in the company, something that 1099s oftentimes don't have opportunities to, and it really motivates them. Beyond that, we also have the opportunity for them to establish an FTE position offering if they would like when they meet another threshold. So it pays for itself.
Ernest also asks, how many orders can you currently fulfill?
We can currently fulfill, we have, you've seen our forecast. We have now access and capability for the next 18 months in that forecast. We also have the ability to, we have our operations chief, my co-founder, Kelly Powers, has established redundant assembly in both our dispenser technologies with our MDRO PCB board company, as well as our converting company for the cassette. So we have more than enough capability to drive right through that forecast I just showed you.
Jacqueline Stewart asks, are there any sister products in development as well?
There are. Our IP family really is not about stethoscopes at all. It's about the touch-free application of a clean barrier to its target vector. So we're introducing it with the Discover system. We are portfolioing it to the Sonocover system for the broad and rapidly growing market of ultrasound probe technology, very contaminated, and the first new hand hygiene program since gloves were introduced. This is going to be faster, more sustainable, and totally clean.
Colin Walker wants to know any plans to go public.
Well, it's been introduced to us through our group, Brookline Capital Market, a subsidiary of Arcadia. And so the opportunities exist. Our first goal is laser focused on moving to break even with the Discover system onto profitability, and that will take care of itself.
Well, Scott, we have more questions for you, but that's all the time we have. We would love to have you back with some more updates in the future. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Anna. Would love to be back.
All right, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back with Findex.